lighthouse keepers vanish from a locked island. A ship is found drifting in the Atlantic with no crew on board. A 600-year-old book remains unreadable to this day. And in the frozen mountains of Russia, 9 hikers flee their tent into the snow barefoot. History is filled with mysteries that should have been solved, but some stories refuse to give answers. These are the most terrifying historical mysteries that still remain unsolved. Somewhere in the North Atlantic, a lighthouse stands on a rock surrounded by violent seas. It has guided ships for over a century, but in 1900, something went wrong. 3 lighthouse keepers vanished without explanation. Inside the station, everything was still in place. A meal was half finished. A chair was overturned. A door was locked from the inside. No storm damage matched the logbook description. No bodies were ever recovered. The island stayed silent, as if it had never been lived on at all. And yet the sea surrounding it has erased more than just ships. Because sometimes the ocean does not just destroy things, it hides them. In 1872, a ship was found drifting across the Atlantic. The Mary Celeste was intact, seaworthy, undamaged, but every crew member was gone. No distress signals, no struggle, no explanation. Even the cargo remained untouched, as if the ship had been abandoned mid-life. The captain's log ended normally. Nothing indicated danger, yet the entire crew had disappeared into open water. The sea had not destroyed them, it had erased them. And what remains missing is not just people, but reason itself. Because when reason fails, people begin searching for something deeper than explanation. Locked inside Yale University is a book no one can read. The Voynich Manuscript contains a language that no expert has ever decoded. It is consistent, structured, and intentional, but completely unknown. Inside are strange plants, impossible diagrams, and unexplained symbols. It does not behave like nonsense. It behaves like meaning we cannot access. For centuries, scholars have tried and failed to translate it, and so the book remains silent, as if refusing interpretation itself. But silence is not always absence of knowledge. Sometimes it is concealment. And concealment is something that can also exist beneath the earth. In 1969, Soviet engineers drilled deep into frozen ground. The drill suddenly dropped into a hollow void beneath the earth. A microphone was lowered inside. What it recorded became one of the most controversial sounds ever captured: screaming, echoing, layered, and distorted. Some claimed it sounded like human voices. Others called it natural noise distorted by equipment. The recording spread, and the legend of the well to hell was born. A place where the earth itself seemed to speak. But not all voices come from below the ground. Some are transmitted through the air itself. In 1961, French television was suddenly interrupted. A distorted face appeared on screen. It spoke in a broken, unnatural voice. The message warned of disaster and collapse. Then the signal vanished. Engineers traced the broadcast to a source that made no sense. No operator, no station, no confirmed origin, just an impossible transmission that should not have existed. But if messages can appear without a sender, then identity itself becomes unstable. And nowhere is identity more unstable than when a person is found without one. In 1948, a man was found dead on an Australian beach. No identification, no known origin. Every label on his clothes had been removed. In his pocket was a scrap of paper reading, "Tamam shud." It meant, "It is ended." The hidden code was later discovered linked to the case, but it was never solved. The man's identity remains unknown to this day. A life that ended without beginning in the record. And when identity disappears, so does certainty about reality itself. Because even reality can feel unstable when the world around you will not stop moving. In Taos, New Mexico, some residents hear a constant low-frequency hum. It never stops, like a machine operating somewhere just beyond perception. Scientists have searched for its source. Nothing definitive has ever been found. The sound seems to exist for some people and not for others, as if reality itself is inconsistent. And when perception fails, even silence can become suspicious. But silence isn't the only mysterious thing. It's time, and all it takes is one slip. In 1955, a man appeared in Times Square wearing clothing from another century. He claimed to be Rudolph Fentz, a man who had vanished nearly 80 years earlier. Moments later, he was struck by a car and died. Documents found on him belonged to a different era entirely. The story is often dismissed as legend, but it raises a question that cannot be easily ignored. What if time does not move as cleanly as we believe? And if time can slip, then disappearance may not mean death. It may mean something far worse: survival in the wrong place. In 1959, 9 hikers in the Ural Mountains abandoned their tent in the middle of the night. They cut their way out from the inside and ran into freezing snow. barefoot, unprepared. Their bodies were later found scattered across the mountains. Some died of exposure. Others showed injuries that could not be explained by natural forces alone. The case was closed with one official explanation: an unknown compelling force. But the mountain never explained itself, and nature does not usually leave questions unanswered. Yet the final mystery is not what nature does, but what human perception cannot explain. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you want more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Across history, patterns repeat: disappearances, signals, sounds, books without meaning. We assume every mystery has an answer waiting to be discovered, but some questions survive longer than the systems meant to solve them. And the more we learn, the more we realize how much remains unknown. A mystery does not need to be solved to be real. It only needs to remain unexplainable. And as long as some of these stories remain unsolved, the world is still stranger than we are willing to admit.